Hello, internet friends. My name is Bay. That's my sweaty forehead, and this is more Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail MSQ journey, playing as White Mage. We got the other half of our opening break in our choice of MSQ, so we're gonna go talk to this Pelupelu lad, and then we're gonna go to Urqopacha. 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 They have llamas there. That's all you need to know. There be llamas. The approachable Pelu is awaiting your questions. I've been waiting for what feels like days and eaten enough of Urqopacha's tacos to feed an army. What is it you'd like to know? We have been gone for a couple of days, it seems. Yeah. Our main concern was confirming the state of the road ahead. As I recall, to reach Urqopacha, we depart from the Arch of Dawn and then take the road west at the first fork. Should we be wary of anything along the way? That is indeed the way to Urqopacha. After the damage wrought by the recent downpour, however, you'll be doing more stumbling than walking. But do take heart when it comes to rugged terrain. We have the most dependable solution available. Come with me. We gotta ride a cart or something? Oh, duh. The wrong button. Oh, we're taking llamas there. That makes sense. Oh my, are these fluffy babies our mounts? The Pelupelu, all being small is confusing enough, but those masks make it almost impossible to tell man from women, let alone guess their age. I think that's probably the point. They're essentially dwarves, though. Just not stout and stubby. The beasts are sure-footed, that's for certain. Talking to a Pelu before we departed was a wise decision. I, for one, would rather not brave a treacherous, slippery trail on foot. Why did it have to be alpacas? Do you guys say alpacas or alpacas? Hard C, soft C. Alpacas or alpacas? They introduce you to our most dependable companion, the alpaca. Mm-hmm. Oh, God. These animals can traverse Urqopacha's steep mountain trails as if they were gentle fields, all while carrying heavy loads. Our merchants would be lost without them. So they fill much the same niche as our chocobos back home. You don't have alpacas in Eorzea? Nope. Alpacas are native to Yogg-Taral. Eorzea has its chocobos, and the eastern lands have their horses. Why go through the trouble of breeding another pack beast in a place which ill suits its qualities and where it is not needed anyway? Yeah. But must we ride these little monsters? I get the impression you aren't fond of alpacas. When I was small and being a bit naughty, I went around pulling out their wool. One of them spat on me, and it was the foulest stench you can imagine. I see. What do they like to ride? Probably a little bouncy. Alpacas bred as mounts are inquisitive and docile, even though those without experience can find them easy to handle. We're really doing this then. So was my information useful to you? Yes, very helpful, even if I wasn't what I wanted to hear. Good. I'll take my payment now. You want me to pay you? I guess I should have expected as much from a Pelu merchant. Let me see what I have on me. Girl, I got like 100 million. What you need? The Pelupelu value the act of spreading joy through trade. As you should know, they take pride in making deals that benefit both parties. Okay. There you go. A fair price for your fair advice. Yes, I made a trade with the third promise herself. My friends will never believe this. I should be on my way now. I wish you safe travels. Off you go then, and thank you. Did I just skip a blue quest? Yeah, I'm not doing blue quest right now. We're doing MSQ, baby. Blue quests are after MSQ. You do MSQ, all the way done. Then you do Aether Currents and blue quests. And maybe side quests after that. Well, let's not go crazy. Better not get spit on again. You brought that on yourself. Remain calm and gentle, and so will they. So I'm not happy about this, but if we need to ride alpacas to reach Urqopacha, then that's what we will do. Let's go. We just got scammed. I mean, we paid for information and to rent alpacas. Oh my god. Yes.
Turali poets of yore sang of a mountain that would stand tall, even should all other lands sink beneath the sea. Indomitable and eternal, it arises from Urqopacha, the 100 peaks of time.
That's a big mountain.
Of all the beasts which crawl and fly, only the legendary Valigarmanda could hope to disturb the summit's serene majesty. Yet, with that flying calamity imprisoned by the Dawn Serpent, what great feat remains for those who would claim the throne?
Urqopacha. Dude, that mountain is something. Holy crap.
So this is Urqopacha. I've never actually been here before.
The air is so crisp and clear. Mountains everywhere you look.
That one massive peak in particular has quite the presence. It puts me in mind of Som Al.
That is Workor Sormor, the tallest mountain in Yogg-Tural. Its sheer height makes it an imposing climb. But there are other reasons the ambitious keep their distance.
Wait, it's called Workor Zormor? Whereas in Eorzea we had Midgard Sormr, the father of dragons, who basically kind of became a mountain. Workor Zormor. It's very, very similar.
Oh? Do tell.
Where to begin?
Excuse me, but you're Lamat, are you not? I hadn't thought to encounter one of the Dawn's promise here of all places.
Hello?
But I should introduce myself. I am Bol Nok, a weaver by trade.
Well met, Bolnok. We're on our way to Urqopacha.
Urqopacha.
Oh, truly, I've just come from there, as it happens. I'd asked the Pelupelu who sell me their wool to give me a tour of their alpaca ranch. The head rancher and I shared a bottle of mezcal while he explained the finer points of wool production.
A whole bottle?
Mezcal, is that a local beverage?
Alize, you're too young.
It's an Urqopacha specialty. A spirit made from distilled agave heart juice.
Yes, and it must have done wonders for my mood, for I tripled my usual order of alpaca wool. They did offer me a discount, though, so it wasn't a bad deal in the end. But listen to me, boring you with my tedious stories. I will leave you before you are lulled to sleep. Goodbye, and safe travels. Oh, silly me. I almost forgot to say the thing I actually wanted to say. Peace for Tural. I agree with your vision, Third Promise. You have my support in your bid for the throne.
Aww.
I gather from his tale we would be foolish to underestimate Pelupelu merchants.
Yes, they do more than run the markets in Tuliolal. Pelupelu peddlers can be found everywhere in Tural, traveling from place to place on their sturdy alpacas.
Alpacas.
They are effusive and engaging speakers, and many's the customer who's been talked into spending more than they bargained for.
They won't find this customer so easily charmed.
Famous last words.
Watchun Pello's down the path! Off the main road! Don't get lost!
It's right there.
It's going well. How's the graphics overhaul? The best thing about it is just faces. Just all the character faces and your character's face. It's just everything is so much better quality than it was before. That's the biggest thing. And I mean, the environmental stuff looks great. And there was a queue, at least this morning when I got on, it was 350, but it only took about 15-20 minutes. Not too bad. Now, this is early access, so not full launch. So we'll see how that goes in 4 days from now when it's full launch. Because 2 years ago, it was roughly a 2,000 plus person queue. You could be in queue for hours. Roughly every 1,000 people was over an hour-long queue. So. I can see more buildings down the path Bolnock was taking. I wonder what's over that way. So we are in a totally different area. Chabaukik. Agave Jaws, the family ranch. Mezcal distillery. Maybe. Panakpelu. Naryor Gorna. Chirwarger. Carry Orzar. There's so many. It's just so many. It's just nonsense. I feel the change in altitude most keenly. While mayhap not the same degree as the Sea of Clouds, the air is decidedly thin here. The palace crowds were more supportive of her brothers, but Urqopacha's peaceful politics do have their quiet adherents, I see. Yeah. We could have just finding how each random pterodactyl. Finding where each of everyone's little the bubbles of support lie is going to be really part of this whole process, I imagine. This is it. Watchun Pello, home of the Pelupelu. Lamat should have arrived before us. She was just like 20 feet ahead. And it's like 60 feet. That's not good. Why? What happened? You come all this way for the right of succession? Oh. So this seems I'm exchanging words with the future Dawn Servant. Please, the outcome is far from decided, but it is a possibility. How fortunate then that I deal in cloaks woven from especially luxurious alpaca wool. Such a garment would look magnificent when draped over the shoulders of our budding ruler. Oh God. The nation's ruler should dress her best for her adoring people. Yes, finery for our finest lady. That's right. Come, third promise. My well-stocked shelves are but a few steps away. Finest lady. I like the sound of that. All right, I suppose a quick look wouldn't hurt. What did we just talk about? Ehrenfeld, when did you? We just walked here. You were 20 seconds ahead. Ah, a Shintoa from the far-off Zaktaral. Northern winters are bitterly cold affairs, I'm told. I can imagine how you survived them. I cannot imagine how you survived them without a lovely warm cloak of quality alpaca wool. Son of a... No, thank you. I'm not in need of new clothes at the moment, and neither is the third promise, perhaps another time. Of course, of course. My shop door is always open. Yeah. Okay. You were saying something about not being easily charmed? Yeah, I did say famous last words, didn't I? I was just... As I mentioned previously, the Pelu people live for bringing happiness through trade. They won't cheat you or sell you defective goods. They will, however, disarm you with their deft turns of phrase, and unwitting customers like Lamat fall prey to this affable approach time and time again. Your only recourse is a clear and firm refusal. They won't pursue the matter should you make your disinterest plain. Okay. A valuable insight into the minds of the Pelupelu. Let us all take Aaronville's words of caution to heart. Yeah, but I got like 100 million. I could drop some gil. I could drop some gil on some alpaca clothing, wool cloak. What? I don't know. Maybe not. Oh, exceed amount. I swear, let her out of my sights for one moment. Would seem the Pelupelu are also partial to coffee. Oh. All these houses and buildings made to Pelupelu size, and mine too, come to think of it. You two are rather short right now for Elizin. I'm sure that's because you're just teenagers. Lamat is lucky to have Aaronville. Everyone, royalty especially, needs a friend unafraid to chide them when the need arises. Nothing quite as relaxing as a cup of coffee. Okay, so they're like British dwarves or something? Maybe not. That would be tea, I guess. But, I mean, what's the difference? Crushed leaves in water versus crushed beans in water. You have a lot of small houses, though. Look at all the tiny little huts and stuff. I don't know how they talk yet. We have to get one to talk to us. We need to wait until we actually get a cutscene with one to see what kind of sort of vocal registers they are using. Because I don't know if they have deep voices or otherwise. Quest 13. Traders of Happiness. Lamat is ready to search out the Dawn Servant's Elector. Not my finest moment, I'll admit, but now that we're here, let's do what we came to do and find the Elector. I'll need to propose a strategy then. Kryl, Alizé, and I will speak with the merchants. Lamat, you and Aaronville might try approaching travelers and passers-by. Yep. Pray investigate any of the other establishments which catch your eye. Should you learn aught of use, let us relay it to the third promise. Yep. Get to a new area of the quest. What do? Walk around and talk to people. Pretty common. Look how tiny the distillery is. You got some meat on sticks. What did I say? Meat on sticks. Wait, did I not? Oh, it's the gemstone trader too. What do we have here? Alpaca fillet, mega magui pineapple, and some silver lobo hide. Different amounts of these materials are going to be important in the initial tier of crafting. Usually the bicolor gemstone stuff is normally only the first tier. I don't know if it really stays after that. Hello, distillery worker. The Dawn Servant's Elector? Oh, I thought you were a new face in town. Here for the right of succession, I take it. Me, I don't much care who sits on the throne so long as they keep Terral peaceful. People tend not to be in the mood to relax and sip our excellent mezcal once arrows and spears start flying, if you know what I mean. Speaking of which, would you like a cup? A joy shared is a joy doubled, I say. Oh, come on! All right, yes. You are asking about the Elector business. Being but freshly returned from my trading route, I heard that there is a contest afoot, but not much else. Our head ledger, Tobley, will probably tell you more about it. Tobley. Tobley? Tobley. Something like that. Electors, oh yes, I've heard all about the right of succession. They're looking for a new ruler on the throne, eh? Personally, I'm rooting for Zorolja. Really? I don't know if you know what he's about. If the first promise wins, he'll look to expand our sphere of influence. That means access to more resources and more customers in the thousands column, potentially. So many new trading opportunities to spread happiness far and wide. You mean after all the colonialism, death, and subjugation and war? Others have been coming around to my way of thinking, so I've begun crafting goods inspired by the resilient sun. Would you care to purchase something? Oh, you actually... Do you get roped in if you just say, please answer my question, and they'll just zoop you back around? So if you just say, no, I would not, then they just... You just roadblock them? And they're respectable to that. Very well. You said you wanted to know about the Elector. I could help you, but I won't. I can tell you no supporter of Zorolja or his policies. How do you tell that? I flew to the end of all time and space to fight the Singer of the End on top of my frenemy dragon. I spit lasers out of my hands to defeat it. I'll do my fair share of battle, but I have no idea why you side with the warmonger. Well, I know why. You just want more places that you trade. But that would mean you are okay with warmongering. What is that alpaca doing? Is it sleeping? Meow. It's sleeping, I guess. This one actually has different colored clothes. Oh my goodness. That's surprising. Mablu. Hello there. I'm Mablu. You have a question for me? Sorry. Don't know about any electors. Be sure to take a moment to see our prized alpacas before you leave, though. Oh, be sure to admire them from a respectable distance. Get too close, and our nervous darlings may be tempted to spit on you, and that stuff stinks. I happen to be visiting... I happened to a visiting buyer not long ago. Tobley, that's the head rancher, was so mad at me for not giving a proper warning. No one makes a mistake without Tobley noticing. He knows everything that happens on this ranch. I'm gonna go speak to this Tobly, apparently. Yeah, you're warmongering. Now. Whee! Let's get this aetherite. Na-na-na-na-na-na. Look, just look how clear their faces look now. It's crazy. Look, Lamat, did you be staying in here? I didn't see anyone else anywhere for extra lore or extra dialogue. The city's not... City, hamlet, village, not that big. I didn't see any other... Yeah, I've been live for 7 hours. At this stage. This is our third chunk of quests right now, too. Yeah, just started our third chunk. We should be, after this chunk, it should be the first dungeon, so that'll be fun. You have to watch yourself around these silver-tongued peddlers. I almost bought a bottle of mezcal and a stack of blankets, and then there was this enchanting ornament. Look, Lamat! Anyway, I did manage to learn that Tobly is the man to talk to about the contest. Now, if only they'd share where this head ledger of theirs is to be found. I have a cat here in my eye. Really? He's also the head rancher? Well, the Alpaca ranch is not far from here. I say we pay a visit before the others return. Okay. Away, fairy, away! Normal mount speed. Not much faster than walking. Gotta get enough aetherite currents in the zone to get the faster movement speed, and then you gotta get all of them to fly. This alpaca actually has a title. The beast regards you with weary eyes and a twitching jaw. Backing away slowly may be the wisest course of action. No! I'm gonna jump over it! Alpaca. Such a weird animal. Bum 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 bum. There's a lot of alpacas. Still, you know, the head ledger could be here somewhere. No, everyone looks the same. I can't let fear deter me. Not to say that I'm scared, of course. Just scared of alpacas. Hello. Excuse me, is one of those workers Tobly? Tobly, oh yes, he likes to mingle with the ranch hands and keep an eye on things. I can't tell you which one he is, though. Thank you. You can't? Is that part of the contest? All I can say is that Tobly often mentions his favorite pungent subject. He also can't resist a profitable trade, though who among us could? Am I right? Still, if you bring him a very good deal, he might let his identity slip. It's like a game? Easy enough. All I have to do is offer Tobly a deal he can't ignore. No problem at all. Maybe one problem. I don't think my purse is deep enough to pay everyone we might think is Tobly. Let's ask some questions first to narrow down the field. Great. Meet back here to share our impressions. Again, I got like 100 milli on me. What you need? Well, obviously, I'm not Tobly. I mean, oops. I shouldn't have said that. You're meant to find for yourself who Tobly is, or if an elector is even in the village at all. Good luck. Ah, visit from across the salt, if I'm not mistaken. Be warned, the alpacas will spit if you startle them. I suggest you keep your movements slow and deliberate. I'm gonna jump over it! Am I Tobley? Yes, that's me. Excellent work from the third promise and her entourage sharp instincts. Shall we commence the rite of succession then? This is your bait. You think I might be Tobley? Haha, well maybe I am. All I will say is that in this village, none have reared more alpacas than I. Okay. Didn't really get much information. I'm assuming it's the one that's watching the alpacas. The first one, well, the second one we talked to. So we're about done with our interrogations. Who do you think it is? I have my suspicions, but I'll let you pick. Oh, I forgot what they were called. Frick! The nonchalant one. That was the one that was watching. He seemed unconvincing to me, but if that's your choice, then that's who we'll talk to. Unless I messed up what their names were. That was... Oh, this is the... Oh! Maybe not. I don't know. This looks like a different camera angle. Probably I offer you a deal. The truth of who you are in exchange for a tidy sum. What do you say? I say hand over the coin. The truth is, I'm not even a ranch hand. I just like to come by and wash the alpacas. Oh, you don't even work here. I knew I should have gone with my gut on this one. Now that Thunder Moyne wasted coin, I need to regroup and rethink this. There's only 2 others. Yeah, I forgot the name of the one in the corner. You can't even see him again. How about, is the diligent one? Boastful was the one by the caravan, right? The diligent one? Ah. The worker so intent on stable chores. I am out on that one too. Time to rip the mask off our mystery ranch hand, so to speak. Yeah, that way. Yeah. You know it's you, Tobley. And to prove it, I propose a deal. A generous sum of coin for confirmation of your true identity. How much they give it? Like 500? An offer I gladly accept. As you quickly guessed, I am indeed Tobley, head ledger of Urqopacha, and head rancher of the family ranch. I am also one of Gulul Jaja's chosen electors. Yeah, fair enough. In a place... Oh, aha. In a place featured in the Tuliolo saga, just as we thought. Though it took more coin than I would have liked to know for certain. She found you out fair and square, Tobley. I'm glad she did. You've been a... Oh, would have been a pity if I had her bid ended here. Curious why only that other one is a different colored cloak outfit and everyone else is just red.
Deducing the Dunservant's elector was the first step of the feat. Too simple a task for this aspiring ruler, eh?
Okay, well we have a voice now.
Right. Not hard at all. Zorolja.
I am told the head ledger, Tobley, is to be found here.
You have to guess which one of us is Tobley. That's part of the test.
You're doubly.
Okay, sure.
Without even asking a single question. Very impressive indeed. With that amusing prologue out of the way, we can proceed to the actual challenge.
It's weird having like these deep, at least for like a male character, like a deeper voice coming out of these tiny people that aren't dwarves. They're dwarves, okay? They're dwarves, they're just not thick.
Per the Dawn Servant's instructions, I was free to devise any manner of feat. I considered the number of possibilities in the 10th column. But I think I have a good one.
Well, that seems to be a way they talk. How many they can put on like a ledger. The tens column. The other one said the thousands column.
You must go forth and capture for me an alpaca.
This is a Monty Python reference?
While I've not had the best experiences with alpacas, aren't they generally docile creatures? That doesn't sound like much of a challenge.
Bring out the example! This is a special kind of alpaca. Would you please approach the animal, Third Promise?
Who? Me? Well, it should stay calm if I stay calm, right? That's what Erinville said.
Ah!
Ah! The little monster spat on me!
Oh my god.
Ah, oh, that stinks. I can't.
Alpacas are paradoxical creatures, being both extremely curious and extremely cowardly.
Okay.
Press your luck when they're frightened, and you'll get a face full of spit, as you've all just witnessed. Has an awful stench, their expectoration. The globs contain half-digested food, you see, making it an effective deterrent against perceived threats.
Wild valley breed like this one are especially timid and can therefore be quick to lash out. They're also especially hardy.
Indeed. We take the rugged wild alpacas and breed them with our gentle domesticated stock. This produces the strong but biddable pack animals prized by our traveling merchants.
Mm-hmm.
That's all well and good, but did I need to bathe an alpaca spit for you to make your point?
So, the task is to catch a wild alpaca.
That is correct. But be warned that it is a feat easier said than done. I suggest you prepare well before you enter the valley where the creatures dwell. And by you, I mean the claimants only. Allies are not permitted to assist with the catching.
Ah.
The alpacas will help me judge which of you is worthy of receiving a keystone.
So I'm to chase down a fluffy, spitting demon, and that somehow proves I'm fit to rule?
As I said, the Dawn Servant granted me the freedom to decide my challenge. And when you reach the end of the rite, I dare say you will understand why I chose what I chose.
All right.
Very well. This won't take long.
Wait! Didn't I warn you this was easier said than done? There are preparations to be made, factors to consider.
A beast is a beast. All yield to strength.
So far, this experience has done absolutely nothing to improve my opinion of alpacas. But that doesn't mean I can't do this. Revolting spit aside, they're just another animal.
Says the 6-foot-tall talking cat.
Are you all right, Lamat? We thought we heard you scream.
The third promise does not scream. It was more of a startled yelp.
Scream, in other words.
Wow.
Did you find the Elector?
Oh, we certainly did.
That was silly. I was impressed at how easily Zoraljal found Tolby, but also sort of frightened. I've done my duty and assigned the claimants their feet. The rest is up to them. Judging by the volume of Urqopacha's scream, Alpaca expectoration must have a nasty odor indeed. I'm content to remain ignorant of that smell. Zoraljal puts me in a mind of Garlemald's own exalted son. Of the two, though, Xenos was undeniably more arrogant. This is our sought-after Elector. I did say remaining calm was key, but the same rules don't apply to wild alpacas. Ugh. I had to go and wash that nice stuff off my face. I think I got all of it. But would you mind taking a sniff of me just to make sure? The stench has ruined my sense of smell. Saw that look. What the hell? I mean, you know what you did making that joke, Square Enix. Hey, level apu. Level apu. So, can you still smell it? Be honest. Let me just get in there and take a big old whiff. This is called the Feet of Gold, then, I see. Yeah, so quest number 14. The Feet of Gold. Arenville wishes to discuss the Feet of Gold. The Feet of Gold. Should I say it again? Lamat helped demonstrate the valley alpaca are wary of people. Getting close enough to catch one will not be an easy task. We're just standing right next to it still. Kind of warned me about that earlier. I have enough trouble with tame alpacas. How do you expect me to wrangle a wild one? The proper saddle. You infuse the leather with a relaxing scent that soothes the spitting beast. Wonderful. Give me one of those then. Have you perhaps forgotten we are a clan of merchants? If you want a taming saddle, then you'll need to find a saddler and make them an offer. They don't come cheap, of course. Crafting a saddle will cost the equivalent of 10 pel in the thousands column. There's nothing. Like, for real? Huh. You mean 10,000 pel? Oh, that kind of coin? I got like 100 million gil on me right now. I'm liquid. What do you need? Will you take gil? Will they take gil? Converting to gil, that comes to around 1 million or so. Mayhap if we all pitch in. That is nothing. That's 1% of my stock. Let's go. Oh no, this is my feat to accomplish. Wouldn't feel right about having others pay the cost. I'll find the money somehow. In that case, that basket of wool is worth the sum you paid me earlier, 1 pel, in the hundreds column. Beginning with the wool, you can trade for ever more valuable goods until you have something suitable to bargain with for the saddle. It's a nice gesture, but you think I can turn 100 pel into 1 million? That's 10,000 times more. No, it was 10,000. We need 10,000 pel, not 1 million. So we're looking at 100 times more. They really just did a math joke. Yeah. This little math joke. What's the little math joke between friends, huh? In the middle of a, mountainous plains with a bunch of dwarves that are all about mercantile exchanges. All right, I panicked, not confused with Alphino's million gil. Yeah. You did. I'm not sure about this trading idea. You were almost talked into buying a cloak you didn't need mere moments after you arrived. I just hate it when you're right. Let me help you with your deal making. Oh, hello again. Mablu. I work here as a ranch hand, but I've also learned a lot about the peddler profession. Sorry if I aid them now, yes? I guided the claimants toward the first step of the feat, like you asked? As long as Lamat goes alone to capture her alpaca, she is free to accept assistance from whoever she likes. Hooray! Let's see about getting you that saddle then, third promise. I don't know why you made your offer, but I could use an ally with a beak for bargains. Welcome aboard, Mablu. Should the rest of us stay behind, perhaps? Maybe easier to haggle over prices without so many voices chiming in? Yes, stay here and pitch in with the ranch work. With Mablu gone, I'll need extra hands to tend to the alpacas. Gladly. Although, Bay, I think you should go with Lamat, so that the player character can actually do something. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, you've seen markets and bazaars the world over, and surely have sage advice to share. I have been to many. I suppose. Yes, that is correct. In that case, you should also hold on to the alpaca wool. If it's misplaced or soiled in some way, you'll have nothing to bargain with. As if I do such a thing, but I'll leave the wool with Bay anyway. The better to keep my hands free. Okie dokie. Just hand me the whole invisible wool stack. Thank you. To begin, I suggest we try trading the wool to Havli, the saddler. You won't agree to the deal, of course, but it'll give us an idea how much he'll accept for his wares. Okay. We are on our way. This is that. What is that conundrum? It's the trading. It's you take a pencil and eventually you have like a car, right? You trade the pencil for X, so then you take that next thing and you trade for that. You keep trading up and trading up the previous item you just traded for. That whole, I forget what that actually is called, that exchange. Tending the alpacas, are we? Had some experience with that when I was younger. I have every confidence you'll come back with a saddle. I'd worry if it was just Lamat, but it sounds like Mablu knows a thing or two about trading. Turning 100 pel worth of wool into 10,000 pel saddle is exactly the kind of suggestion I'd expect from the head of a merchant clan. I suppose so. Do. This is the artisan who makes our taming saddles. It's really possible to make 100 times what wool is worth just through trading. Now, it's all just about up trading, right? You just need to get a little bit more value from every trade as you go up. Something I can do for you? Come to bargain. I need one of your special taming saddles to catch a wild alpaca. A saddle, is it? And how will you be paying for it? With this basket of fine alpaca wool that I pull out of my pocket. What use does a saddle maker have for wool? Besides, this would barely cover the cost of a single strap buckle. Offer me something I actually want. Alright. What might that be? Mezcal. I like to nurse a cup at day's end while I inspect my finished work. Bring me a jug of quality stuff and you've got yourself a deal. Bodes well for us, third promise. Such mezcal can be had for only 5 pel in the thousands column. It's such a weird way of talking about monetary exchanges. It's very unique. Oh, the teeth! Hold on. Did you say third promise that my offer has changed? The saddle is going to cost you a jug of premium mezcal. Aged 3 years at least. 3 years? That stuff is valued at 10,000 pel or more. Why have you doubled the price? Because I must support a man of ambition. I must support the man of ambition. We'll see my business prosper. Zoralja will go to war, and his cavalry will need saddles. Lots of saddles. Nothing personal, third promise, but I won't sell you my craft for anything less than my asking price. Uh-huh. Makes sense. Can't say I blame him. I know for championing peace, peace is unlikely to bring him more customers. Those of our grandparents' generation remember the dark days when the clans were at war. Many of these Pelu pray for your victory, Urqopacha. Younger ones, though, to them, strife and bloodshed are as children's stories. They think themselves safe from these horrors and take the peace we now enjoy for granted. Still, others are unsatisfied with this quiet prosperity and crave the future the second promise envisions. They become obsessed with innovations like the dirigibles that have made trade swift and easy. Then you have those like Havli, convinced that the first promise's plans for conquest will afford them opportunities for great profit. But what about you, Mablu? Aren't you of the younger generation? At least a year or two younger than me, I'd say. I was raised in the old tales. I've memorized the accounts of what it was like when the Yokhui ruled our village. That's why I offered to help. Want you to become Dawn's servant to keep our nation from going back to the way it was. Well, then I guess I'd better make sure I win the contest. But that type of mezcal the saddle maker wants is so very expensive. What are we expecting to need 10,000 pel from the onset? Nothing's changed. We just need to get on with it. I may not have a head for trade or the stomach for alpacas, but I won't give up with the piece of Tuliola on the line. Tuliola on the line. Neither will I. We will make you Dawn servant. Aiming for that 10,000 pel jug right away will only bring us failure and frustration. Let's try exchanging the wool for anything even a touch more valuable. Yep. The trick is to find someone who needs alpaca wool and is willing to trade at a loss to acquire it. Someone who supports your bid for the throne, for instance. My eyes. Yeah, the guy we first met. Yep. How convenient. Of course, the Weaver. Bolnock was his name, I believe. Went out of his way to say he agreed with my vision and he was here to buy wool. I think I remember the direction he was going, but for now, let's head back to the road where we first met. That's neat. I'm running. I'm running. I'm running. It's a long way to run. Is Bob? Oh, Bob Fantasia'd? Bob is no longer an Aura. I don't know how I feel about this. This is where you met the Weaver? It is. This is the spot. After Bolnock talked to us, he walked off to the south. He's probably going to Ikulvo's Inn. Ikulvo's Inn. Most visitors to Wachenpelo end up staying there. Let's go check, shall we? Sounds good to me. Indeed. Ikulvo's. Actually, it's hard to tell if that's an I or an L. It is Bolnock. Hope he's willing to offer us something wonderful in exchange. We meet again, but wait. Weren't you all on your way to Wachenpelo? You've already been there. Can I have that basket? Sure. Basket of standard quality wool you received from Tobli, worth 1 pel in the hundreds column. Thanks. Now let's see what we can turn a profit. Oh, Nook, I'm glad I found you. Are you interested in making a trade? I would promise you wish to do business with me? Might I ask what this is all about? Ah, yes. Fade up and fade to black. Now fade down, fade from black. Oh, a push in, rather. A dolly in. Okay. I see. So the goal is to turn that basket of wool into a jug of 3-year-old premium mezcal. Allow me to invest in your efforts. Big cats help big cats. Peace in Terral is what allows me to cross freely into the lands of my suppliers. Naturally, I prefer that one pledged to preserve that peace win the throne. Thus I do humbly offer you this wool poncho, a small token that I pray contributes to your victory. Thank you. That's fine craftsmanship. A garment like that would easily fetch 5 pel in the hundreds column. Very generous, Bolnook. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down. Every faith in you, third promise. May fortune bless your future dealings. He has a nice poncho. He's wearing a nice poncho right there, so if anything like that. I can't believe you quintupled? Yeah, quintupled your investment with your first deal? We're off to a spectacular start. Only because they remembered our weaver friend. All I did was hand over the wool. It's not true. The connections you build with people are vital. This is one of the most fundamental precepts of trading, one which you've instinctively mastered. The camera is so close to her face. You think so? I know so. Now let's take our 500 pel poncho and trade it for something even more valuable. Here, take the poncho. If I lost it somehow, Ehrenvel would never let me hear the end of it. Invisible poncho. All set. Our next deal is waiting to be found. What the hell is this UI? They made a UI game for this to like visualize what you did. Oh my god, that's so stupid and great. Success! You've traded a 100 pel basket of alpaca wool for a 500 pel wool poncho. These are all words. Turned 100 pel into 500. I know it's only 5 times more, but it feels like 500 times more. That's so goofy that they made a pop-up for it all. Usually those pop-ups are only in like studium things or little side quests. I don't think I remember anything like that in a main quest. Leveraging connections is a sound strategy, but we should also consider supply and demand. An individual in urgent need of a good poncho will offer more than a merchant simply looking to stock his shelves. That makes sense. How do we know if someone needs a poncho? They aren't wearing one, or they have a fabulous sense of style. I mean, they aren't wearing a poncho and then need one? I gotta go with the goofy answer, though. They have a fabulous sense of style. Gotta give her the dorky answer. It's a nice dirty poncho, but the design is traditional. I don't think fashion is part of its appeal. Ah, damn it! Only those people with a practical need would be interested. Ah. Wait, it's the obvious answer, isn't it? We look for a person without a poncho and hope they're eager to buy ours. Yes, there you go. You'll find the demand for our supply. So we should begin our search for prospective buyers. There are a number of places, but we could do worse than starting right here at the end. There might be interested travelers. You could try. Who here needs a poncho? A lot of Mamulja hardly wear anything to begin with. Oh, these two are... At least this guy. These two might be... These are part of Bakuljaja's party. Those are probably Landsguard or sell swords. Mamulja who soldier for a living prefer not to wear much above the waist. It hampers their movements. Even if they have bared shoulders, Mamulja carrying arms can be struck off the list. Okay. Find a potential customer. So I don't know if this is the guy that was with them or not. It might be the same one. Clearly, I think it's supposed to... This guy. The sweaty Dropo. But there was one guy that was dressed like this in the other guy's group. That Mamoja is armed. Could be a Dropo courier. I've seen them flying their... Wivrays? Wyvers? And those types aren't fond of excessive clothing either. Oh, okay. So just this guy then. The Hubigo. Let's see, no cloak. No coat or cloak, but also no weapon. Oh, we might have a winner. Huh. Oh there, friend. Not a mercenary by trade, right? I was curious about your bold choice of dress, or lack thereof. What was no choice of mine, believe me. I was attacked by beasts on the way here and barely escaped with my scales intact. My coat was not so lucky. I'm actually a tool maker from Tuliolal and was dressed quite smartly. All the better to show the Pelu I am a man who takes pride in his appearance and therefore his work as well. And now look at me. Looks like a lizard man. Well, sir, this is your lucky day. Invisible cloak! Poncho, sorry, invisible poncho. What a splendid poncho. This would be perfect replacement for the coat I lost. Willing to part with it if you'd like to make a trade for one of your fine tools, perhaps. What about this hatchet? I crafted it myself and will vouch for its quality. Invisible hatchet! The blade looks sharp, the haft well made. I'd value that at 1 pel in the thousands column. Oh, from 500 to 1,000, we have a deal. Wonderful. A fine garment such as this should put me on even footing with any Pelu merchant. Like the eponymous owner of Mablu's Mate Garden. What? Mablu's Mate Garden, for one. Her field hands use hatchets to harvest the mate. And I thought to impress her with the tool I sold you. Harvest the mate? Is that like a type of plant or something? It's got to be like a plant or a flower or something. I've never heard of it before. A mate is what you call your buds. Oi, mate. Or your partner, or whoever you copulate with, your mate. What the hell? No matter, I have other wares to sell. Glad I have met you. Glad I am to have met you. We don't get to see him put them on? Oh, that's kind of lame. Either that, we're already ready found our next buyer. To Mablu's Mate Garden we go. Bit fair distance on foot. We should take alpacas. These ones will be calm type, right? Be the calm type, right? Yeah, sure. Excellent trade! You traded 500 pel wool poncho for 1,000 pel hatchet. It's so goofy. Huh. I mean, I'm assuming it's just like one of those ponchos. We don't get to see him wearing it, though. Because it was all invisible. Here we go again. Riding alpacas. Well done recognizing that tool maker as a potential customer. If you've a mind to change professions, you'd make an excellent merchant. I don't know about that. That's very silly, though. We're doing so well, even Tobley would have to agree. Well, I don't know about that. We'll see if we can... Obviously, this whole thing will lead to the end, but how we get there is the journey, right? Quest 15. Mablu's Dream. Book Lamat steels herself for the ride to find your next trading partner. before we get moving, we should be the one. Oh, you should be the one to hold this. Yep, the hatchet. Sure, sure. With that, I suppose we should hop on the alpacas Mablu has so kindly provided. We should. We're going to catch a wild alpaca after this. I can't be shying away from the tame ones. Not that I'm scared of them, you understand, or their nasty, disgusting, foul-smelling spit. Tell us how you really feel. A finely crafted hatchet you received in trade for a wool poncho, worth 1 pel in the thousands column. Ready to go? Let's mount up. Let's do it! Begin the alpaca ride. Ah! We're actually doing the flight point. They just had to. The animation is too good. Oh gosh, let's see. They don't actually put this in the... Oh, this doesn't actually go in the... It's off to the mate fields we go. Please don't spit. Please don't spit. You'll be fine. These ones are accustomed to people. I still don't trust them. You have a knack for riding, no matter what you say. Without our alpaca friends, we Pelu would never have become traveling merchants. Can you imagine walking all the way across Tyrol? I swear that mountain is too tall to be real. Urqopacha. Wasn't that the name? A foreboding sight, isn't it? I've never appreciated up close. You have to take the long way around the cliffs to get there, to the highlands belonging to the Yokhui. So, Mablu, you said you were learning about the peddler profession. You don't care for ranch work? No, I love it. I love working with the alpacas. But becoming a peddler has always been a dream of mine. It's just, I'm not sure I have the talent for it. If I can help you buy the taming saddle, though, then I'd be proof that I can do this after all. In that case, you'd best get ready to be a merchant. Look, we're almost there. Just had to have us riding the alpacas, huh? Just couldn't not have that sequence. That was great. We made it, and without a single smelly incident. Sent the alpacas back to Ikulvo's Inn. So we'll walk along the main road when we return to the village. Speaking of roads to travel, you were adopted by the Dawn Servant, weren't you, Third Promise? That I was. And perhaps you understand, I was an orphan too, you see. Tobley took me in. He took in all the ranch hands, actually. All of them? Yes, and everyone works hard at their chores, grateful for the opportunity to repay the head ledger's generosity. Yet here I am, the only one wanting to go off and be a merchant. Well, everyone's going to sail their own ship, you know? So I don't know why I'm telling you this. You need to keep trading things for your saddle if you're to prepare for the Feet of Gold. As it's mate harvesting season, they can't have too many quality hatchets. And back to Lamat's way with the people, we should have no trouble making a favorable deal. That's Mablu herself over there. Pass the hatchet to the Third Promise and let's get to bargaining. Mablu. Still don't know what a mate is that they're harvesting. It's clearly something. It's a name for something. Not like bags of it. Maybe it's like a... So it's like a bush thing. Or something that grows. They have some orchards. Did you give the hatchet back to Lamat? You should let her do the talking. Get that little axe for me? I do. I don't know why I held it and then did a cutscene and then gave it right back to you. Thanks. Now to see what we can get for it. Let's see indeed. You're Mablu, the owner of these fields. I have a mind to trade if you're interested. Well, a third promise. Might have convinced to entertain a proposal? Or might be convinced to entertain a proposal. What do you have on offer? This hatchet, forged by a seasoned artisan, the razor edge of this exceptional tool will make light work of your crops. It's invisible, though. Quality's acceptable, I suppose. I offer you a large sack of mate leaves in exchange. A sack of mate leaves is valued at 1 pel in the thousands column. Same price as the hatchet. This deal would bring us no closer to the mezcal. If I may, Mistress Mablu, it's harvesting season, is it not? Does not the demand for hatchets afford them a higher value? It is indeed the season, which is why I procured an ample batch of tools well in advance. We've missed the window for demand. In that case, we'll have to fall back on connections. We've missed the window for demand. Oh no. That was pretty funny. Think of it this way. A generous deal here will put you in the third promise's good graces. Surely that's worth of consideration. I do not wish to give offense, but I must tell you that I stand with the second promise. His innovations will improve every aspect of our lives, I believe, including farming. And I will no longer have need of hatchets. I assure you that I have nothing but respect for Lamat. This is why I'm preparing to purchase a spare hatchet at a fair price. I suppose it is fair given your reasons, but we ourselves would be no better off for the transaction. Well, but then we'd be looking at trading not a hatchet, but a big old bushel of mate leaves, which I guess is some type of tree. I don't know, fern. How about this then? If we were to help bring in your harvest, would you give us a better deal? Oh, as a matter of fact, I would. Until Koana's reforms come about, I can always use more hands in the fields. We can go ahead and add our labor to the bargain. Oh. Added value to tip the scales. How could I have forgotten one of the most basic rules of trading? You can rest here if you like, Mablu. They and I have mate to gather. Oh no, I'm helping too. All right, let's go then. Off to the fields then. And mind you pick the healthy leaves. I'll take 5 good bundles from each of you. 5? But aren't you only giving us 1? Holy crap. I'm getting had. You see how Lamat came to my rescue there? She really is good with people. Wasn't sure Mablu would bite, but it goes to show that you never know until you try. Branch of verdant mate leaves. Just leaves though. I wonder if it's like a tea. I don't know what these are used for. If they're even a real thing or just made up for the game. A sizable pile of freshly harvested mate leaves. This image makes me think that they're like an herb or a tea of some sort or something. Perhaps. Just bouncing along on their triple triad card. I'm gonna look it up, actually. It was a real thing. Oh, you know what? I didn't think about that because I was pronouncing it just mate because there was no other word. It might be yerba mate, which is pronounced mate, not mate. Could be yerba mate. The leaves of the plant can be steeped in hot water to make a beverage known as mate. The beverage is called mate, or just mate. I assume the proper way to pronounce it. Yeah, so it's like it's a tea, more or less. Yerba mate. It's an organic tea from South America. It's a very vegetative brew with a distinct herbal quality. Yeah. But they're not calling it, there's no yerba in there, because obviously that's a very specific word for us, so they're just calling it mate. Got it. It all makes sense now. Learning. You brought me some leaves then. Yeah, so verdant mate in that regard, if that's the way they're gonna, yeah. An acceptable harvest. We'll see how your companions fared before I make any decisions, though. All right. Here, we brought our share as well. It's all invisible, though. Thank you, Third Promise. This is more than enough to hold up your end of the bargain. Now it's time to honor mine. After adding the value of your labor to the price of the hatchet, I'm prepared to offer you a full sack of our highest grade mate leaves. It's invisible, though. Premium mate. Bought at the shop, 1 sack of those leaves could cost no less than 5 pel in the thousands column. I bid you farewell to this hatchet. There you go. Basically just paid for the labor. I'll give it a good home. Talk of the contest aside, I'm glad you could come to a mutual agreeable trade. As am I. All the best with the rest of your harvest. Okay, bye. Mablu, what's wrong? As I was saying before, even after everything Tolby's done for me, I'm planning to abandon it all and become a merchant. But then I needed your help after forgetting a basic rule of trade. How can I expect Tolby to accept my decision then? You mentioned your plans to leave, or so you intend to give up then? I mean, that's a little bit harsh, but true. You mentioned your plans to leave? Not exactly. I wanted to prove I could succeed as a peddler before I declared my intentions. I seek to follow my father's footsteps, but not because he expects it of me. I want to preserve Tural's peace, and becoming Dawn Servant happens to be the best way to do it. You should live a life of your own choosing, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tolby held the same opinion, so talk to him. Ugh. You're right. It's better to find out for sure than worry over what he might say. Thank you for the advice. Big cheesin'. Well, first, we have a saddle to buy. I want that success under my belt so I can be sure of my decision. True. We have a long way to go, though. A long way to go. What's next, then? Sure, I'll trade our tea leaves for something halfway to 10,000 pel. No, I think we are close enough now. So we go straight for the premium mezcal. Bargain our way into double the value, eh? Think you can do it? Trust me, I'll make this trade work. I admire you, Third Promise. Thank you for holding your own against such strong competition, for the throne is expiring. Am I really holding my own against Kona and Zoralja? Zoralja? Add an extra L there. I mean, of course I am. I'm Urqopacha, the Dawn's Promise, after all. Concerned, arms crossed emoji. Quest complete all over my face. Excellent trade. You traded a 1,000 pel hatchet for a 5,000 pel sack of top grade mate leaves. I feel like doesn't the mate from Urqopacha, wouldn't there be a little thingy on the E to denote the different pronunciation? Because otherwise it's just mate, not specifically mate. But I looked it up and there's no other there's no symbol, no dot, no hoobly woob over the E. I feel like there's something missing there, maybe. I've never been one to take it slow. Once I have a goal in mind, it's full speed ahead. That's who I am. That's totally fine. I don't think there's any reason to... That's okay. Quest number 16, a premium deal. Lamat has her eye on a jug of premium mezcal. Before we go, let me give you the mate leaves. I don't want to risk proving Erenvel's point. Always has to hand it to the player for some reason, so we have to give it back. I guess we could read the item. Ready then? Our next stop is the Mezcal Distillery. I mean, you two nerds can walk, but large sack of premium mate leaves you received in trade for a fine hatchet and an investment of labor worth 5 pel in the thousands column. I mean, I'm doing one of these. That was actually quite the long ride. One of these. Little teleportation magic. But you're weird one. Alright. Should we wait until it's after 5 p.m.? Will we get a better deal then? Oof, the smell of mezcal is overpowering. The fumes alone are making me dizzy. Well. I want to speak with a man by the name of Gobly. Even among his fellow distillers, he's regarded as the master of the craft. He knows the value of his product, so if we are to convince him to trade for twice what the leaves are worth, we're going to need targeted information. It means asking around and taking in the gossip. You could talk to people here in the distillery. They, perhaps Lamat, could do the same in the village entrance. Meanwhile, I'll head to the north side and see what I can learn. And a double set of go around and talk to people, the quest. Bibilja. Me? I am a chef from Tuliolal. Oh, nice. Often compared to buy Golby's mezcal, the finest in Tyrol, according to my customers. He always brings out a jug during our dealings, but I can't handle the stuff too well myself. I take small sips. I wanted to be impolite, you understand, but still end up so addled as to agree to whatever price he quotes me. It would be nice to have less potent refreshments during such conversations, else I might have to seriously reconsider our arrangement. Seems like a weird thing to keep having to deal with. That Chocobo is wearing a cat costume. You understand? Gobly might be a deft hand at distilling, but he's got no sense when it comes to appearances. Rumor has it he's been invited to the palace for business negotiations. If he presents himself to the court wearing his usual rumpled attire, though, he'll be laughed out of Sun Perch. His rumpled attire. Get rumpled? Not much I can say about Gobbly. I can tell you what Gobbly's been saying. The other day he was muttering about monsters prowling around agave jaws. That's the field where they gather the ingredients for the mezcal. Their presence has made it harder to procure certain ingredients and thus driven up the price of his product. A boon, some might argue, but it's hard to celebrate when it affects the work as it does. Can't rightly bring joy to people if you can't keep making the thing they love. All right, so we're gonna go beat up some monsters. We're gonna go beat up some monsters, I assume. That only makes the most sense for what we've been given. Is Urqopacha somewhere where I can get some more dialogue, or no? I always look for the NPCs in these walk-around quests, because you always get like a little bit extra, you know? It adds up over the course of the whole MSQ. You get just little extra little bits of dialogue, but sometimes they just are just despawned. They don't reappear until you go into a cutscene. I think it's just by the gate, though. Way up by the gate. What'd you find out? Oh, we can make use of all those tidbits. The deal is as good as sealed. As for me, I found out where Gobbly is working. There's a millstone at the top of the slope behind the distillery. You go on ahead and I'll bring Urqopacha. There's a pumpkin goblin there. There was a Luffy running past me. I'm assuming it moved her if she was here originally. Yeah, probably. And swoop. Oh, there's a dead end. It's actually fully behind, not just up the building. Is anyone around? Just Gobbly and no one? Okay. You have business with me, sir? Why don't we talk down below us to not distract the alpaca from his work? All right. Just talking distract alpaca from their work. Ow, 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 ow. Now, what's this about? Keep it brief, if you would. I'm a busy man. We're in the market for a 3-year-old jug of premium mezcal, assuming you have any on hand, that is. An excellent choice. I must warn you, though, it doesn't come cheap. We don't have Pel, but I can offer you a sack of mate leaves in exchange. It's top-grade stuff, like the mezcal. No deal. Mate leaves are well and good. I don't have any use for them. No deal, just like that. Still, I hate to send you away empty-handed. Why don't we sit and chat a while over a cup of mezcal? Now the real bargaining begins. Which of our cards do you want to play first? The Hobigo's chef distaste for strong drink, Golby's invitation to the palace, or the monsters in the agave fields. It kind of feels like you go and it wants you to go 1, 2, 3, like down like this, but let's mix it up a little bit. Let's do the palace invitation. I don't know if it really matters if it is in order. Hold on to that one. We need to consider our timing. The monsters in the agave. Oh, see, yeah, it's theming them. Yeah, so the chef's distaste for the strong drink, probably. Yeah. I appreciate your hospitality, but I'm afraid I can't hold my drink. I've heard one of your regular customers, the Hubigo chef, is the same. Seeing as not everyone can enjoy mezcal, I wonder if you might benefit from having other refreshments to offer. Something like mate tea, for instance, and brewed from the finest leaves, of course. Oh, you're right. Absolutely right. I have noticed a growing reluctance on the part of my Hobigo friend, but did not realize I was myself to blame. I must endeavor to be better host. Still, even with the added value in mind, no sack of leaves is worth the mezcal you're after. Should we offer to call the monsters causing them trouble? Not yet. We'll keep that card up our sleeves until we need it. Hey, with the big cheese. As I expect you're aware, the rite of succession is currently taking place. That's why the third promise has graced us with her presence. When the contest is decided, the subsequent ascension ceremony and banquet will be a prestigious affair. If your mezcal were to be served there, it would bring your distillery immeasurable fame. Wait, could it be that your rumored invitation to the palace is to discuss that very possibility? As a matter of fact, yes, I must admit. I'm still reeling from the absurdness of it all. It would be a great honor opportunity if I could secure the deal. Well, you should think your exceptional mezcal would speak for itself. That said, there's no such thing as being too prepared, and first impressions last. You'll want to be wearing your very best when you walk into Volok Shunza. It was just a shame to miss this chance of a lifetime simply for want of proper garments. He's wearing the same shit everyone else is. I guess maybe it's faded. Does it look like it's a faded color compared to the other red? I don't know. That it would. Are you saying you have garments to offer? Something ideal for court? We have no garments on hand, I'm afraid. We can provide you with the next best thing. An introduction to a weaver. His name is Bolnok, and his works are highly regarded in Tuliolo. As a supporter of Lamat and keen observer of palace policies, or politics even, he will doubtlessly be happy to guide you in the selection of an outfit to fit this golden occasion. An outfit to fit this golden occasion. It is certainly a tempting proposal, one of which I should like to take full advantage, but the scales still aren't quite balancing. Hit him with the right hook. Say, weren't there monsters running amok in agave jaws? That's a problem we could easily solve for you. Truly? I'd be most grateful for your immediate assistance. I was resigned to hiring sellswords to clear them out. Factoring in that saved expenses and introduction to the trusted weaver, this is shaping up to be a sound bargain, all right? You have a deal. Yes, I knew you'd come around. Give us a moment, and Bay and I'll take care of those prowling nuisances. Goodness. I went all over the place with that, didn't it? In the meantime, I'll use the time to pen an introductory letter to Bolnok. The fields you're looking for are just north of Wachunpelo. Be safe. Let's go. Please be careful out there. I'm gonna hit it with a dia, maybe a glare, maybe a couple glares, maybe more than like 7 or 12. Away, fairy, away! That should be Agave Josh over there. This will go faster if we split up. Come and find me once you finish clearing out your share of the pests. Mm-hmm. Prickly barb mole. Get out of here, barb mole. Got him. Get glared. Another one. Who'da thunk? Let me guess. Another one? These things are huge. They're also like really weird and sad looking. Compared to the creatures I hunted with Papa, this was no challenge at all. Well, let's head back to the distillery. All that's left is to give Mablu the sack of leaves so she can seal the deal. I heard it. I was hearing it at the corner of my ear. They make a swirly noise. Slurp. Whoa, whoa. Oh, that's weird. You can go down like that. That's crazy. One in each zone. Many more to go. Many more to go. Bam, 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 bam. You're not gonna chase me this far. Go on, give Mablu the sack of leaves so she can seal the deal. Those monsters were no trouble for you, it seems. Now, if I could just have the sack of leaves. A large sack of premium mate leaves. Yep. There we go. Thank you for looking after our precious trading goods. I have a bag of holding. I don't know. Just put stuff in it and it all just stays there. Your monster problem has been resolved, Master Gobbly. Here are the mate leaves and a written introduction to Bolnock as agreed. Well, damn. It's all invisible, though. And the deal is done. Here, your jug of premium mezcal, aged 3 years. Please accept it with my compliments. Yes, we finally have the mezcal. Great work, especially you, Mablu. You were the one that inspired me to come this far, third promise, but let's not celebrate until we have the saddle in hand. Mablu, is it? You drive a hard bargain, young peddler. I look forward to doing business with you in the future. Aw. Thank you, but truth be told, I'm just a ranch hand for now. Should I ever become a proper merchant, though, I'll be back to strike more deals with you. Let's go. Yep, let's go. Excellent trade! You trade a 5,000 pel sack of top grade mate leaves for a 10,000 pel jug of premium mezcal. That's so silly. Master Golby's praise makes me confident I can be a peddler after all. Well, a bit more confident than before, at least. That's fair. Satisfied with our trade, and I trust you are too. Should you have the need of more mezcal, you know who to come to. The tiny person with the really deep voice, apparently, because we only know what 2 of them sound like. And one I can't do. Oh, man. It's an interesting mixture so far. I mean, these early quests are not like, it's like world building. Only a few of them have been voiced, so I wonder if the voiced cutscenes are gonna get denser as we get later into these trials, these deeds we're doing, these rites. Get these, yeah. We'll find out. But next up, Quest 17, Lamat in the saddle. Lamat is ready to return to Havli. Even at the palace, I don't think I've held a 10,000 pel jug of anything before. My hands won't stop shaking. Here, you better hold on to it until we get to the saddle maker. Could you imagine if we dropped it and had to start all over again? Luckily, Havli's place is not far. We just need to head across the plaza. Could you imagine if you dropped it and we had to start all over? No, I do not want to do the trading game again. Although, obviously it's not going to happen. Real stupid, though. The third promise looks ready to trade the mezcal now. This is it. The trade we've been working towards. Took us like almost a day. I don't remember what time it was in Eorzea time. A high-quality jug of mezcal you received in trade for premium mate leaves, an introductory letter, and the swift culling of hostile pests worth 10 pel in the thousands column. Let's do it. Phew, still in one piece. Right, had to make our deal. Your tools ready, saddler. We've brought your precious mezcal. Oh, it's a little bit abrupt. Wait. You actually your hands on a jug? You had nothing. A few measly clumps of wool. What we had was an aspiring trader with a gift for negotiation. Although I'd sooner aid no claimant, but Zoralja. I cannot go against the guiding principles of the Pelupelu. I also have a very deep voice. The trade is a fair one. I will craft your saddle, third promise. Great. Stay and wait if you'd like. I have all the requisite materials. This won't take long. Fade to black, all of a sudden, saddle. Yep. Hello. Your commission is ready. Catching a wild alpaca is never a simple affair. You'll have an easier time of it with one of my saddles. Thank you, Duckbill Man. If you don't mind, I have other work that needs finishing. I can taste that smooth mezcal already. Happy cat. But you know, the saddle is ours. To think we started only with only 100 pel basket of alpaca wool. Mablu, you are going to be an incredible merchant. Thank you. Makes me so glad to hear you say that, Third Promise. Yeah, we came for. Let's return to the ranch. Others will be waiting. He traded a 10,000 pel jug of premium mezcal for a taming saddle. Very dorky that there's a whole pop-up for that. That's great. Everyone's here. Looks like everyone's been pitching in with the alpacas. Let's tell them the good news. Hobley and Aaronville have been teaching us how to care for alpacas. One gentle girl ate the feed straight from my hand. Tataru's loving it. She is loving it. I made the mistake of startling one and caught a glob of spittle for my trouble. I'm beginning to understand Urqopacha's aversion to the animals. Oh no. You've been away for some time. I assume trading was productive? Think so? You've acquired the saddle then? We have. Yes, and thanks to no small part to Mablu. Before you rush off to catch an alpaca, though, let me teach you how to saddle one. I'll bring out one of our wild-born friends so you can practice. Oh gosh. I know. This is something I need to learn. Oh god, the music. Great sunken gods, I did it. All in a fade to black moment. He hardly seemed bothered, much less inclined to spit, as if he was completely accepted of Urqopacha's touch. It's because of a singular scent with which the saddle has been coated. Alpacas find it very soothing. You know, I've never taken a good long look at one before. Oh, look at one of you before, but actually kind of cute. They are. You're only now noticing that? Alpacas do be kind of cute, but they're ridiculous. Oh. Zorolja, he's back. What the f- Are we doing exactly what he set out to do? That alpaca he's brought, is just me or is it glowing? Is it a fake? Is it enchanted? Is it being like bewitched? What the heck? It's gold. He caught a shiny alpaca? I've heard tales of such a beast. They say the golden alpaca lives a solitary existence deep in the valley where it shuns the company of both man and its own kind. It's literally a shiny alpaca. Yep. How did he manage to snare a prize like that? A beast knows its betters. Faced with overwhelming strength, he will yield rather than risk death. An apt illustration of how greatly the power of the first promise exceeds yours, Lamat. I'm a chameleon face. Strength alone won't win him our father's throne. Only the one to find the Golden City, and then Tural can remain at peace. An everlasting desire for peace can only be forged in the fires of war. Shit. To unite as one, the people must be taught. They must suffer the horror and the hopelessness firsthand. Exhaustion from prolonged conflict, the wages of war's merciless nature. These are what moved the clans to join in the founding of Tuliolol all those years ago. Consider the younger generation of this village. Since birth they have basked in unbroken harmony, and behold, they regard war not as tragedy, but opportunity. Thus does the resilient son seek to provide education. He offers much-needed lessons in the realities of conquest and a renewed appreciation for peacetime. It is true that war's misery breeds a longing for peace. But I have seen with my own eyes what becomes of an empire forged through violence you propose, the rebellions it spawned, and the ruins it left behind. Literally an entire nation. The Gallian Empire was a congregation of simpletons. Damn. The oppressed fought back against their oppressors, as they should. Men are not beasts. Only a fool would seek to rule over all with the threat of force alone. This is why Galuljaja did not elevate the Mamulja, why he treated all clans with equal respect. However, the first promise says his gaze fixed upon more distant horizons. He would unite not only Tuliolol, but the star in its entirety. What? Why? I need not explain myself to you. Oh, well done indeed. The first promise has completed the feat of gold with an appropriately golden flourish. May I present to you your much-deserved keystone. Off he trods. He's always been like that, never sharing his innermost thoughts with me, or even with Koana. It's like we're not even family. I mean, not really. Adoptive family, but not blood related at all. So much of our star has begun to embrace reconciliation and rebuild, and this would-be warlord would thrust us all back into turmoil. We cannot allow it to happen. Zoralja is willing to go to war for his twisted vision of peace. But should he achieve this peace, then what? What kind of idiot thinks the world can be united with war? Even most Garleans have since realized that their conquests were a mistake. A golden alpaca in the flesh, like the Golden City. I thought them a children's tale. I could never agree with Zoralja. I want Tuliolol to be a land of peace, now and always. I'll ponder Zoralja and his mysteries later. Right now I need to think about finishing the feat of gold. I have my saddle. I've practiced how to use it, so lead on to where the wild alpacas roam. The valley of Orunudkanka. Yeah, Orunkanka is northwest of here. Come on, everyone. Even if we can't enter ourselves, we can see Lamat off on her hunt. Okay. Oh, it is out there. No, barb moles that are coming from my butt. My butt meat. Mole-a-whack instead of whack-a-mole? Uh-huh. Some wild alpacas here, it would seem. Mablu's right. All we can do is let Urqopacha know we're cheering for her. Okay. Zoralja may have caught his alpaca first. That doesn't mean Urqopacha is out of the running. She can do this. Urqopacha is a steep and treacherous place, so only those with the head ledger's blessing are permitted to go there. When they set foot beyond this point, the valley is said to be home to fiends far more ferocious than spitting alpacas. How deep do you think the valley is? I glanced over the edge on the way here, but the mist was too thick to even speculate. No idea. I can do this. I know I can. Cheer on Urqopacha as she marshals her courage to attempt the harrowing task of capturing a wild alpaca. You'll get cheered at?
Good luck there, promise!
Thanks. I'll need it. Truth be told, still not sure about alpacas. I'd rather not go near one if I can help it.
Well.
But if I'm to rule this nation, then I'll need to learn how to live with them. Tural is their home too. Right. I'm off.
Oh, she running.
So, shall we head back to the ranch, or...?
I'm staying here.
Okay.
As will I. Urqopacha is alone in this. The least we can do is stand watch and await her return.
Mm-hmm.
It may be a while yet. Help me pitch the tent.
Oh. We're only like a 30-second walk from town. We're camping now. Okay. We're camping? We're camping.
Trust a gleaner to come prepared for anything.
Uh-huh.
What's a gleaner?
Dude, look at the lighting going through the glass in her goggles. Wow.
Someone whose job it is to travel the world and procure uncommon things for their employers. Erenville specializes in finding animals, I believe.
But aren't you a Shaitana from Tural? Why did you cross the salt?
Uh-oh. Backstory?
When I was much younger, the thought of leaving Tural never even occurred to me. But then, some years ago, my mentor tasked me with a difficult hunt. something I could never find, she said, so long as I clung to the familiar. She suggested that I leave home, leave Tural, and join the Gleaners of Sharlayan. As one of their number, I could experience the world, immerse myself in myriad cultures and customs, see the many faces of nature. And once I had learned what is truly important, I would find that which I seek. My younger self took those words to heart, and off I went to become a gleaner.
Her words alone moved you to leave behind everything you'd ever known? You must have great respect for your mentor.
As it happens, gleaner work was much to my liking, and I all but forgot why I had pursued it in the first place. Yet, events conspired to put me back on the trail I'd abandoned.
Wait, are you saying you were tasked with finding the City of Gold?
I was. And though my hunt is now entangled with the right of succession, I mean to see it through.
Well then, I understand completely. We all have our reasons for seeking the Golden City. Which is all the more reason for us to work together.
Just so.
Hey, I've been there. The moon, not the Golden City. The moon in the shot. I've been there.
She should have been back by now. What if something's happened to her? We need to tell Tobli and arrange a search party.
Wait. Do you hear that?
Not yet.
They did it.
Took all night, I guess. Good gosh. The run animation.
You're utterly spent, and small wonder.
Well done, Third Promise.
It's a cool shot.
The ranch isn't going anywhere. Take a rest in the tent.
I think I will. Thank you all for believing in me.
We are here for quite some time. I'm sure glad Wilklamot was able to catch her alpaca, and Erinville choosing to share her story with us was a welcome surprise. Yep, got the backstory bug. Got him. Alphino was quick to lend a hand with dismantling the tent. Is this to be his new obsession now that he's mastered collecting firewood? That's a dig from an earlier quest, I'm sure. I can't think of the direct correlation at the present moment. Thanks to Alphino and his healing hands, I can actually stand again. Maybe even walk. I spoke too much. If Wilklamot is up to it, we should be heading back to Tobli. Wilklamot had no serious injuries to speak of, however, she had clearly been pushed to the very limits of her endurance. Oh, so she had low HP. I'm so relieved the third promise came back to us safely, and the alpaca she tamed is a healthy-looking beast. Surely this will be enough to satisfy the feet of gold. Indeed. Stand here and everyone cheering. Yeah, that's so good. Oh. We got a big grouping of people in here. Knowing the Pelupelu, I see. All right. Quest number 18. Knowing the Pelupelu. Mablu is minded to rush ahead to the village. Another cool shot. That's neat. I wish they put these places where you could actually use them. It's a really cool screenshot they always make for these, the banner ones. Usually just means it's a larger quest, right? It's just cutscenes. Look, Lamat still seems a bit unsteady on her feet. Probably surprising after she spent the night chasing alpacas. You know what will melt away fatigue like magic, though? Mate tea. Mate tea. I'll run to the ranch and get a pot brewing. That way you can take your time and the tea will be ready when you arrive. Alright. There she goes. As Mablu so wisely suggested, we shall set a slower pace for our exhausted third promise. Oh, I thought they were actually all going to be accompanying me. And they were, unfortunately, not all going to accompany me. That would have been a neat little procession. Why is that minion so far away from anyone else? Bam. You might think catching an alpaca is a trivial thing, but we shall see. As I said, there's no reason... Oh, there's a reason I chose it for my feet. Oh, no one else is here. Came back to the others, did you? I mean, I guess. I should hurry along with the tea then. Book Lamat can't be far behind. It's like a 12-second sprint over here on a mount. I don't know. Oh. Well, that tea really is magical. I feel better already. I see you've become more comfortable around our fuzzy friends. Was the alpaca having some tea too? Watching this one taught me a lot about alpacas. What grasses and fruits they eat, what sounds they react to, their adorable little quirks, their fluffy butts. I guess I've grown kind of fond of them. Welcome back, Third Promise. Accomplished the feat of gold, have you? Yes, there's no mistaking a valley alpaca. Commend you on your success. Well done. Yes, we did it. Yes. Although I couldn't find a shiny one like Zorolja did. I'd be surprised if you had. Golden alpacas are born, but once every few decades. They are elusive, solitary creatures that are rarely seen. Sorry, much less captured, thanks to their innate physical and magical gifts. Only a single other person is known to have caught one before, that being Golul Jaja himself. Papa was chasing alpacas too? So my grandfather's stories say. Oh, flashback. It was before the founding of Tuliolal, in the time when the mountain giants, the Yokhui, held our people in thrall. Compelled by their overlords, our forebears would ride their alpaca mounts to the highlands to deliver gifts of food and other tributes. Those were wretched days, to hear grandfather tell it. Then along came a young Golul Jaja, yet unburdened by the mantle of Dawn Servant. Our people were amazed by his imposing two-headed figure, equal to the Yokhui in stature, and puzzled by his entourage of mismatched companions. Hey, he's got a Hanu, a Moblin, a bunny, big cat man, big human man. Oh wait, you think that's what's his face? This is probably what's his face? I can't think of his damn name right now off the top of my head. The guy we've heard about at the very beginning of the MSQ, this guy, because he had that vest on in that image, I think, or the yeah, it's got to be that special dude, but it could be wrong. Some trembled in fear, believing a new conqueror had come. Yet Golul Jaja showed no such inclinations. He sat and spoke with us, sipping from the cups of mate tea we offered him, and grew somber when he learned of our plight. None could have anticipated what their visitor decided to do next. Golul Jaja ascended the cliffs to face the giants and freed the Pelupelu from the Yokhui's subjugation. This is totally that other guy. Right here. There he is again. There's too many names. My random access memory has not been able to keep up with all the different names. So if it was a few hours ago, it's gone. It's poof. Then he turned an apprising eye upon our riders and proposed we take to the road to peddle our beverages. The suggestion seemed obvious for one who traveled as he did, intent on fostering amity between the clans. So it was that a few words from Golul Jaja transformed us into a clan of itinerant merchants. I've never heard the bond Papa forged with the Pelupelu spoken of that way before. The saga is not so detailed. And you may not know that Golul Jaja sought a sure-footed guide for his trek up to the highlands. Thus did he capture a golden alpaca. So both my brother and my father caught the rarest of creatures, while an ordinary one was the best I could manage. If you required more than that, Third Promise, and you brought back a perfectly wonderful beast. Mablu's right. You're a perfectly wonderful beast. If anyone's ordinary, it's me. Not only did you accomplish the feat of gold, you also made many trades and brought joy to many people in the true Pelupelu fashion. I sorely doubt your sibling could have achieved the same result. Yeah, very different ways about approaching it. You should be proud of the accomplishments which earned you your keystone. Oh, Alpaca just walks away. Bye-bye. Looks like a starburst. Five more to go. You're all on your way, Third Promise. I'd have been lost without you, Mablu. Mablu. Little Les Dixie there. Thanks to you, I learned so much about the Pelu people and your customs. Customs? Customs. Reading aloud for going on 9 hours plus now. Starts to all get a little bit blah. Might seem obvious, but I've come to realize the importance of properly knowing something. It was because I didn't understand alpacas that I was uncomfortable around them. Thankful to you as well, Lamat. You give me the courage to say what I wasn't sure I could ever say. Oh, she's gonna do it. Tobly, I want to leave the ranch and become a merchant. I appreciate everything you've done for me, and I've loved every moment caring for the alpacas. This is something I need to do. I need to walk my own path and make my own trades. As your parent, allow me to say one thing. I've always tried to give my wards lives filled with as much happiness as I could provide, yet never once have I wanted that to be the only happiness you knew. You have my blessing to walk any path you choose, Mablu. It gladdens me to hear you found your calling you wish to pursue with such passion. You'll make an exceptional peddler. I'm sure of it. Aw. I mean, obviously, aw. What's he gonna say? No! Get back to work! Work on the alpaca farm forever! Thank you, Tobly. What did I tell you, Mablu? There's one last thing I can help you with, Third Promise. You need to find the Golden City, right? That's the end goal. I suggest you talk to the Yokhui. The giants. Obviously. They once ruled far more than just Urqopacha and the Pelupelu. 1,000 years ago, they were the overlords of Yogg-Togthal and all its people. 1,000 years ago? During that era, the Pelupelu were commanded to search for a city of gold. 1,000 years ago. What calamity would that have been? They scoured every corner of the continent but never found any trace of that fabled place. But if they didn't find anything, what could the Yokhui have to tell us? We don't have found it, but the fact that they thought to look for it at all makes me curious. Perhaps there's value in delving into how the legend originated? We lose nothing for asking the questions. Besides, if we're determined to follow the path of the saga, obviously we're going to talk to the giants. We'll be visiting the giants eventually. Yep. Indeed. Oh, Kryl, I have a question I've been meaning to ask you. And since we finished with the feet, where did you acquire that earring? Oh! My earring? Do you recognize it? Yes. Pieces just like it first became fashionable in Yogg-Togthal around 20 years ago. Since then, it's become common to wear one as a charm for safe travel. Oh. 20 years ago. Around the time my grandfather made his journey. Yet the Dawn Servant implied the earring was connected to the Golden City in some way. Surely there was more to its significance than simple fashion. If you want to know how it first came to be crafted, I could try to find out, seeing as it's a regular seller for many merchants. I'm curious to learn about it myself. I would appreciate that very much. Thank you. Okay. Jumping feet first into the peddler's business. Mablu? Mablu? These damn names. Right then, that's 2 keystones down. So we head back to Tuliolo and plan our next move. Farewell for now, and thanks for all your help. I will become Dawn Servant, so make sure you set aside your best mezcal for the occasion. Bum 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 ba-dum bum bum. She has a fearsome opponent in that brother of hers. He even brought a golden alpaca to heal. But you've heard Zorolja's supporters talk. They might see opportunity in his expansionist ambitions, but they find the man himself intimidating, terrifying even. Whereas I've grown to love Lamat. Everyone she meets will come to love her too. And that's why she'll win the throne. You might be right, Mablu. You might be right. Whoa! Goodness. I never dared hope we would find a lead for this earring mystery so quickly. All of a sudden, just like that. The Yokoi once ruled the entirety of Yok'Torol. I'm curious to see what has become of them. I expected as much from the moment I saw him, but winning the contest against Zorolja will not be easy. No. Also, weird. Thought that O looked like a 0, not a letter instead of the number. That makes 2 out of 7 keystones so far. So good. It feels good to have the feet of gold safely under our belt, even if my victory pales beside Zorolja and his shiny golden alpaca. I know I shouldn't let it bother me, and gods know you have all been so supportive, but I want to be strong or wise like my brothers, to be a promise that people respect. Which is not likely if I stand here carrying on and on about things. Let's move on. Back to Jamal Yantier with us. The contest has hardly begun. Oh. Aetheryte current blue quests do be popping up. Let's head back, shall we? Gotta bring that jazz in. I've heard there are hot springs in Urqopacha. Mayhap, time permitting. I've not forgotten obligations to Lamat, of course, having immersed ourselves in the cultures of others, though my anticipation for the new experiences this adventure will bring us has only grown. But he wants to go to the hot springs. Clearly. Neither Kawana nor Bakul Jaja appeared to be in Urqopacha. I imagine they're around somewhere making progress even as we are. Yet, in a contest like this, 'tis only a matter of time until the claimants are pitted against each other in direct competition. Yep. The Pelupelu remind me of the Lalafell, never letting their size hold them down or hold them back. They move at their own pace, making their textiles and mezcal and raise alpacas to bear them to market. Idle musings aside, we've made a good start on these challenges. Hopefully we can keep it up. Yeah, I compared them to Lalafells earlier. They're not as tiny. That's why they're like dwarf size, I guess. They're just not stout and thick. Golden alpaca alone. I may have tried to track the beast myself. Traveling with so large and diverse a group is unfamiliar with me, or to me. If she could see me now. If she? Who's the she, Aaronville? Aaronval, if that is your real name? Apparently it's not. Well, it is now, but not originally. Look at us. 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 Sorry, little Paul Rudd hot ones. The contest has really begun and we've already have 2 keystones. Surely even my talented brothers aren't doing this well. We can only hope. Look at that. Look at that. Look at us. Look at us. Oh, interesting. Now Alpha doesn't talk about the hot springs. See, each of these dialogues are tied to quest progress, so if you just click past, you don't get certain dialogue. I know it's just like extra kind of fluff, but it's a whole lot of extra little story with all your characters. So it's still cool to see. I think that'll do it for this chunk. That was a good lot. Another little, it almost feels like a side quest, main quest, but it's just world building. It's world building. It's adding to your understanding of what's going on. This is all new. It wasn't being built off of areas that our character has been to before or people we had known through other stuff. This is all new, so very nice. If you've been watching live, or to keep going, of course, but if you're watching on YouTube, that's that. There's a whole bunch of other videos if you want to watch them. My But I'm Bad playthrough series of RPGs, or just my Final Fantasy XIV coverage, which is tons of boss videos and MSQ patches and the like. Just lots and lots and lots if you'd like to go watch it. If you are here now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Why is that guy choosing to wear that hat? It's a conscious decision to put that hat on. I still wish I knew how to properly pronounce this. Jibalyate? Jibalyevte? Maybe something like that? I don't freaking... I don't know. So many names.